Good morning, everybody. How we doing? Matt Modi here with OddsJam, here to give you some NBA player prop best bets today, Thursday, February 9th. If you ever wanted a summary of what sports betting can be like, just look at my last 2 days. Tuesday, incredible day, up 1,700. The literal next day, which was yesterday, down 1K. That's the nature of sports betting. That's how it goes. Obviously, I am still up for the month, which is good. Up a pretty decent amount, like 15 units for the month, which is good. Just had a really bad day yesterday. And that bad day yesterday was the NBA player props was not spared from that bad day. So I promised that I would go through at the beginning of every video and talk to you about how my previous day went. I had 5 NBA player props yesterday. I went 0-5. It was a rough day. That is how it goes. Unfortunately, it's with player props. You can have that type of bad luck. Jalen Duran under 8.5 rebounds. He gets 2 rebounds at the end of the fourth quarter in a blowout to hit the over. We had the under. I accidentally bet it twice too, so I got double effed on this one, which hurt. We had, if we scroll down a little bit, we had Derek White under 1.5 made 3-pointers. He hit exactly 2. Now that obviously with numbers that low, you can't really consider that a bad beat or getting had by the hook, but still unfortunate. And then we had plays in the later games. Andrew Wiggins over 2.5 made 3s, ends with 2. And then the Jordan Poole one was just an L. Can't say anything bad about, or can't say anything negative about that. Under 33.5 PRA, crushed it, 46. Under 5.5 assists, crushed it, ends with 7. Now he had 3 assists in the fourth quarter, so there was some hope that he could have hit the under, but he didn't. And that's just how it goes. So today we were looking to get a little bit better luck than what we had yesterday. So the play that we are locking in, the very first one, is on PointsBet. It is Trae Young under 2.5 made 3-pointers. Now, I still obviously, I should say this, have a ton of faith in positive expected value betting. I don't get scared off by bad days, even if it's consecutive bad days, because there's enough of a history of success. I mean, I'm up 26K overall using OddsJam, and I'm still up a pretty decent amount for the week itself. I just had a really bad day yesterday. That happens. It's really, really annoying when it happens and you question your livelihood, but just know that that's just the nature of the swings of positive EV betting. So anyways, excuse me, Trae Young under 2.5 made 3-pointers, minus 135 at PointsBet is play number 1 for this video. OddsJam prices the no vig line on this one to be basically minus 139.5. We locked it in at PointsBet at minus 135. There is your profitability. That's kind of how the mathematically profitable part of positive EV betting comes in. OddsJam calculates what they deem to be the true line, the perfect line of a market. And I will say, if you're new to positive EV betting or new to the OddsJam YouTube channel, when I say OddsJam calculates what they deem to be the perfect line, it's based on data. It's based on historical precedent. So it's not just like, oh, like flying by the seat of your pants, this is what OddsJam thinks. No, OddsJam tested thousands and thousands of previous betting opportunities to determine what sportsbooks are the sharp ones, remove the vig from those sharp sportsbooks using a weighted average, spits out these no vig odds here. So it's based on historical data and what sportsbooks are consistently the best at pricing odds. So it's incredibly powerful. I kind of say it casually in these videos, but it's incredibly powerful if you think about it. These X amount of sportsbooks are consistently the best at pricing odds. We're going to use them to set the market and find positive EV plays moving forward. Basically saying, if in a future betting opportunity we can get better odds than what the OddsJam perfect line is, that the true line, that will be profitable in the long run. And it is profitable over time in the long run. My ROI is above 4%. You just have to survive bad days. So this first one, Trae Young, under 2.5 made 3-pointers. I recommend locking in. Next up, I didn't like this Michael Porter one. I didn't deem it a good enough outlier. But next up, one that I did lock in, Nikola Jokic under 10.5 assists. I actually locked this in at plus 106 odds at FanDuel, so the odds were actually a little bit better than what you see here. They changed by the time I opened up the play, but this one I did lock in $75, 3/4 of a unit, which is what I put on these player props. And this one's really good. So it's plus 106 odds at FanDuel. The OddsJam perfect line prices this pretty much at even money at minus 100. But look at where the other sportsbooks price it. If you take out FanDuel. So PointsBet is close at even money at plus 100. Every other sportsbook actually favors this going under, right? They have the under as the more likely scenario. And I can tell this by just look at how the sportsbooks price both sides, right? The majority of sportsbooks, taking out these two, have the under as the more expensive play for just looking across the board. Minus 120 on the over, minus 110 on, minus 120 on the under. I think I misspoke. Minus 120 on the under, minus 110 on the over. The under is the more expensive play. That's BetMGM telling you they think it's more likely, so they're going to charge more for it. Same thing with Caesars and DraftKings. Look at the under versus the over. Same thing with, and then this is the most important part, the sharp sportsbooks. Pinnacle has the under at minus 123, the over at minus 108. Pinnacle is known as one of the sharpest sportsbooks in the world, heavily favoring the under. BetOnline, another very sharp sportsbook. Not as heavily, but still favoring the under at minus 115, the over at minus 112. We are getting this for plus money. So if you place 1,000 bets at plus 106 odds and you win exactly half, you will be profitable because of how the payouts work. And the sportsbooks are telling you this should actually hit at more than a 50% rate if you take out FanDuel and PointsBet. And even if you include them, it's still going to hit up just over 50% of the time. So this is a really, really good profitable bet. Jokic under 10.5 assists plus 106 odds is what I locked it in at FanDuel. Next up, we're looking at DeAndre Ayton for him to go over 34.5 points, rebounds, assists. Obviously, the Suns made a huge trade getting Kevin Durant, losing a lot of their contributors, but gaining Kevin Durant. He won't play in this game, obviously, so there's more work to be done for players like DeAndre Ayton. And we're getting a really good price on him to go over 34.5 points, rebounds, assists. OddsJam perfect line prices it at about minus 111.5, minus 112. And look at the other sports books, including BetOnline. Look how heavily BetOnline is on this at minus 143, with the other books minus 126, minus 125, minus 123. Pretty good pricing here that we are getting on DeAndre Ayton to go over 34.5 points, rebounds, assists. I will say, should have mentioned this at the beginning. If you're still watching this, please like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Helps me out a ton. And then, of course, if you want to find me on social media, you can at my Twitter handle you see on the screen here, Jedi Modai. I post plays on Twitter as well. Actually, I will say the public plays I posted yesterday actually did pretty well. Everything I took my own did really bad. So at least the public plays that people tailed me on did pretty well. So DeAndre Ayton, and this is my third pick for this video. My fourth, so I have 5 total. My fourth one, we're looking at Grayson Allen over 2.5 rebounds. Another pretty heavily juiced play, but the value is there. Minus 145 odds at PointsBet. Grayson Allen over 2.5 rebounds. OddsJam perfect line prices this above this number at about rounding up to minus 146. Same thing here. Look at where the other sportsbooks price it. All the way up to like minus 185 at BetMGM. FanDuel is close, 13 cents higher at minus 158. And then the rest of the books, minus 184, minus 175, minus 167. Pretty good outlier when you compare the minus 145 to the rest of the sports books. And then last up, my last play that I'm able to lock in with no limits is Jokic under 0.5 made 3-pointers. So basically doesn't hit a 3-pointer. This is at plus 126 odds at FanDuel. Literally across the board, if you look at the other sports books and where they price it, ranging from plus 100 up to plus 105. OddsJam perfect line pricing it below the plus 126 number. Still, even though it's a smaller gap between these two numbers, it's still profitable. There are still good plays to be found, even at the lower ends of the positive EV page. So this is my 5th and final pick for today. After 2 profitable days in a row, just got slammed yesterday. Hopefully today will be the swing back up and we'll have a profitable day on these. I have faith in it. I have faith in the system. But that is going to be it. So as I just mentioned, like, subscribe, comment. If you're still watching this video, it helped me out a ton. Hit me up on the social medias, and that's it. So other than that, appreciate everybody watching, and have a good one.